Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. And in this video, we're going to try and see if we can hit two birds with one stone. So in the first video of the memory series, we helped you set up your writing style. Just within ChatGPT, you auto embed it. All the instructions are in the previous newsletter, right? But once you have your writing style, that's cool. But then you also need the AI to know a specific client persona that you are trying to talk to, that you're trying to communicate with, whether that's on LinkedIn or on email, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is. Just establishing your ICP is going to be clear. And it was made even more clear in the Schwab RIA Benchmarking report that came out earlier this year. And there they confirmed, and they ran a lot of research. I think they interviewed like about 2,000 or so firms, and they found that firms that have a documented ICP, a documented referral plan, and a client value proposition saw like 67% more growth, right? And so there's something about documenting and getting clear about like a specific audience that you want to serve. And so this is an AI workflow to make that painful process and that boring process a lot more enjoyable and fun and fast. The cool thing about AI is that you can run a match between two different data sets, and you can have it to reason through both those data sets and then come up with a smart, intelligent response. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to run through the ICP that's on your website. We're going to run through the ideal client persona that you've mentioned on your website and your Form ADV, which I think is where the truth really is. And we're going to have the AI also like parse through some information that you give it. So we're going to just go through this prompt really quick, and then we're going to see the results. And as always, you can access the prompt here on this newsletter. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link to the newsletter is in the description, so check it out. So ignore this bit. I just added that first bit there for my sake. But here's what we want to focus on. So this is a prompt, and it is trained. So yes, this is what it says. It says, you're a strategic growth advisor trained on the Charles Schwab RIA Benchmarking Study. I read that report several months ago. We want it to be compliant, right? You specialize in helping RIAs identify and correct misalignments between their public positioning and their most profitable, meaningful, ideal client persona. So this is going to take you through an exercise, but also give you the results really quickly. Traditionally, marketing agencies would do this for you, and you'd pay them thousands and thousands of dollars to do it. Or you'll hire some sort of fancy marketing consultant to come and do it for you. Cool thing is, with AI, you can get those results yourself. All right, so what are the inputs, right? This is the most important piece. And just to remind you again, data is really critical. Anytime you give AI unique data that it's not seen before, something that's specialized to you or something that you only know, that's when you actually unlock the true value of AI. Okay, so you have these input parameters. So you have your firm name, give it your firm name, give it your firm's website URL with the HTTPS protocol, please. And if you can, also give it your Form ADV URL. If you can, or if you can even upload your Form ADV, even better, right? In case you're worried about training, about OpenAI, ChatGPT training on your data and whatnot, let me close off this video with how you can turn off training for your ChatGPT account. So these are the input questions, right? Describe the type of client you absolutely love working with. Which social media channel do you use the most? What are the top beliefs about money? What are their top beliefs about money and wealth? What are their biggest financial fears? Which client group you serve today is most profitable? What is your unfair advantage in serving that group? So even as you write through this process, you're essentially going through the exercise yourself, right? All you're doing is just focusing on these questions, and the AI is taking care of the rest for you, right? So it's going to do a matching. It's going to match what's actually on your website and what is the truth. Like what are the inputs that you're answering with, right? So just take some time and spend some time answering each of these questions, and then the AI is going to go through this. It's called chain of thought prompting, but it's really a step-by-step process, and I've mentioned this in previous videos too. But it's going to go through these different steps to come to that answer. So the first one is step one, analyzing your public positioning, and we just discussed that. Interpret the desired ICP from your discovery inputs. Step 3 is going to compare and diagnose misalignment. And step 4 is going to recommend the fix. Step 5 is going to build the actual persona narrative. Step 6 is going to craft a new client value proposition. And step 7, a growth plan. Like literally, you can have all of this done within a few minutes, within a minute. Like you put it into ChatGPT, use 4.0. GPT 4.0 is still pretty good for this use case. You don't need to use the reasoning models that ChatGPT has, so just use GPT 4.0 and you should get everything you need here. And so we're going to run through an example. Okay, so step 8, it's going to show the growth rationale. So it's going to look at that chart, that Schwab benchmarking data, and it's going to pull insights from there as well. Right. And I've also fed it constraints, of course. We want it to stay compliant. We don't want it to exaggerate anything. We want it to be clear and actionable, and we don't want it to fabricate information. We want it to reason. We want it to reason across your firm, your website, your form ADV, and the discovery input. All right. So I'm going to run this workflow now, and hopefully ChatGPT does a good job of simulating something with a synthetic data set. Okay, it's pretty good at creating synthetic data sets, so I think it should be able to do this. Okay, so this is kind of what it's going to look like. This is what what you throw into ChatGPT is going to look like, right? You're going to submit all this information. You're going to answer these questions, and you can see here it's answered all those questions for us, right? And it's also analyzing. It's going through the chain of thought prompt, and step 1 is done. Okay. So step 1, it has an inferred current ICP. Step 2, ideal ICP. These are answers that, it's written for itself. So this is the diagnosis, right? And this is something to brainstorm within the firm as well. I think this is ideal. If you have more than one, if you are not a solo RIA, and if you have a bigger firm, you definitely want to do this as an exercise and have everyone do it as an exercise. I think what would be fun is to have all the advisors in the firm do this exercise on their own, and then take all those responses that you get and then throw it into ChatGPT and try to get an aligned ICP. That could be interesting. I think it would just be interesting in and of itself to just have each advisor go through this workflow and then come back with answers, and people, and you can just have a discussion around, are we aligned with who we want to serve? And so step 3 is the diagnosis. Step 4 recommends the fix. Of course, it's going to suggest you to make changes to your website. And I know that Michael Kitces and others have been really banging down the door and getting RIAs to be more niche and to be really focused on an ICP. So I think this might maybe help help advisors who are aware of that philosophy to kind of start doing it now. All right, so here we go. Step 4, recommend the fix. Step 5, build the narrative. Step 6, craft a new client proposition and a new client value proposition. Step 7, propose a growth plan. So here you go. It gave a very high level growth plan, but the cool thing about ChatGPT is, of course, you can click on Ask ChatGPT right there, and you can say, expand on this growth plan for me. And you can even go even further, right? You can actually use tools, and you can click on deep research. Deep research will kind of take that prompt. It'll take this section that I've just tagged, and it will do real comprehensive research for you. I think I'll create another video on how to actually do deep research really well, and how to use it strategically, for your use case. But anyhow, okay. So here we go. Step 8, show the growth rationale. It kind of just reminds you that, we went through this data point earlier on, right? About the Schwab benchmarking data. So there you go, folks, we have it right there. And I think I said that we're going to try to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. So maybe we'll try to get it done. So what I want to do is I want to get the ChatGPT to take this ICP and to auto embed it into my memory so that it knows who my target client is. So here's what I'm going to say. Now that you have a clear idea about, I'm going to turn off deep research first because we don't want it to do deep research. About my ICP, can you auto embed this into your memory so you always remember who I'm creating marketing content towards or targeted at. Okay, so let's see. There you go. Save the memory. So it's, added the ICP information there. It's perfect. Got it. I've saved your target audience, so all future marketing content will align with that ICP. If you ever want to run variations, just let me know. I can switch over. Boom. Memory is magic. It makes your job so much more easier. You just need to get that system, your memory system set up, right? I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, DM me on LinkedIn, or comment here on YouTube. I'm attaching the link to the newsletter here so you can copy paste the prompts and run your workflow. I'd love to know what responses you get. So thanks for watching.